And yeah, so we're in the AEW news right now, and Awful Wrestling was kind enough to post the card, and he posted the tickets distributed 1,978. And the amount of people in this that can fit in this building is 17,500. It's at 3K. I used the arena setup for the 18%. I was talking about tickets distributed. They're at 3,000 now. You're right. I see the AEW WrestleTix posted an update. Yeah, sure, but awful. They did hit the 3K, but still 3K out of 17,000. And then Dave Meltzer said the funniest. I can't wait to roast him. He's like, I have this new idea. They should run smaller buildings like they did at the thing. And it's like, bro, Dave Meltzer listens to PWT Confirmed, but I have this new idea. Do you see how he gaslights and lies to his audience? I will never lie to you guys. If I didn't come up with it first, I'm not going to say. Actually, I do say, like, this person listens to PWT Confirmed, obviously joking. Meltzer's like, I came up with this new idea. What new idea? You mean the idea I said 2 years ago on Twitter, you idiot, that you blocked me for, you know? You mean that idea? Dave's such a dummy. Gymnast Brian Alvarez hates flipping gymnasts on NXT, but lives it, but loves it on AEW. Swallowed down the wrong pipe there. No diddy. Pause. Also, things he on TNA he loves in AEW exactly. You know, Matt and Nick touch swords on it. So they sold 3,000 tickets, but like, who gives a shit? It's a 17,000 person building. So over on Patreon too, I watched the NFL Presents Tony Khan thing. I also am watching the entire first season of WWE Tough Enough. And yeah, I'm going to EFAP it with you guys over on Patreon. So make sure you, and other cool stuff too. So here, let's listen to this classic right here while we.
You'll be in two places at once. It'll be a lot like my favorite movie. Time come. So great.
Time come. Coming to the soundboard soon. Okay, so we covered this too, right? Like where the ref pushes her shoulder down. I don't know if we covered this one. Look at the ref puts Harley Cameron's shoulder to the mat for her. Do y'all see that? Oh my God. Then he counts the 3. He puts the AEW referee puts Harley Cameron's shoulders down to the mat for her.
1 and a chain.
Do you guys see that? My word. So then when Remsburg, remember he pushed Danielson's legs or whatever, he pushed Jack Perry's. Oh no, I explained what happened. Yeah, you guys are told back there to touch the talent in pins and not call them like shoots. Even look at the Vaquer match from NXT. She did a trippy pin on Sinclair where Sinclair's shoulders were kind of up. So the ref stopped counting at 1, even though Vaquer was like flexing and stuff. And then the commentator was like, oh, it's like a pin, but it's also somewhat like a hold. And Vic Joseph covered for it, but you call it like a shoot. It's so stupid, man. This guy puts her shoulder down for her. Like, what the f is going on? And why did the Young Bucks come out to Stardust's old music?
Dummy. Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. So, Wrestle Purists post, it had been indicated that Bryan Danielson specifically wanted to lose to Moxley to end his full-time run. That's obvious. Danielson gets to pick who beats him anytime. Anytime if they're like, hey, go out there on Dynamite and lose to whoever. Danielson can say no anytime. So, obviously. But I told y'all, if these dirt sheets are right, we are talking about Ebu and Sappy Poo here, but if they're right, your boy Phil was right. I told y'all, because it's the only person that makes sense in AEW. So there were definitely some people in AEW that pushed for Private Party to win the AEW tag titles this week. And that would have been stupid, you know? In my opinion, like, there's not enough story there yet. They're still perceived as jobbers. We just saw them getting beat up by Marina Shafir, who's a girl. You fucking dummies.
Yeah.
So. But then again, Marina Shafir in real life could beat up both Young Bucks at the same time, guaranteed. Matt and Nicholas Jackson pop me here, though, and go, that doesn't work for us, brother. So that's pretty funny. And what's funny is that we even just had the Outrunners and FTR do like a Hulk Hogan pose off and do like the Mega Powers handshake. So it's funny how Hulk Hogan isn't welcome in AEW, but his taunts and mannerisms and all that, no selling people's finishers, and is welcome. But his politics and business practices are, you know, they should bring Bischoff and Hogan and friends into AEW at this point, because it would be better than whatever they've been doing. Following Wrestle Dream, all of AEW's champions are heels. So we got heel Moxley, we got heel Mariah May, we got heel Monet, we got heel Bucks, heel Takeshita, heel this goof, heel Whitepool Combat Club, and then we got heel Okada. This is AEW's champions. Hilarious. Look at WWE, a perfect mix of heels and baby faces, right? Look at here, all heel champions, and you wonder why. You want to tell me heels and baby faces don't work?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
And you want to tell me long-term booking doesn't work? You short-term booked yourself into having all heel champions, and I guarantee Tony didn't even realize this. And it's stupid, and you can't tell me heroes and villains doesn't work. That's precisely why WWE's red hot. You can have some tweeners, but you got to present good guys and bad guys. It's just the classic storytelling trope. In every single story told ever, there's heroes and villains. You cannot tell me that having them all... Now, it can't be a trope like the heels are dominating. Yeah, do you have like a heel faction? But you got all these belts. No one cares about half them. And it's all heels, man. You got nobody... The crowd has nobody they can look to as like their hero, the guy defending his belt and fighting through the horde of villainy or anything. You have nothing. Yeah, this is just proof in the pudding of no storytelling, no like conscious effort put in for long-term anything. Where are we going to be in 6 months? You know, who's our hero? Like, who's the guy everyone's looking up to? Hologram doesn't have one of these belts. Like, that's what the TNT title should be for. Not a goof like Jack Perry, for someone like Hologram who's just having banger TV matches with luchadors and whatever, you know, I don't know. However, they have no identity. They don't know what they want to be. And they're just a villain company. It's exactly this. They're hated. And the champions reflect that. The champions reflect where you are as a company. No identity. You have this Neo Moxley guy. You got this Stardom girl doing HLA. You got Monet doing cosplay, Joshi, luchador. You got the Bucks. You know what I mean? You have Takeshita, who's super legit, but he's like a dirty heel now, and they're just pulling the trigger on him. It feels out of nowhere and a little too late as far as AEW is concerned. But hopefully he has a long reign with this title. But they should have did it when he was like the baby face guy everyone was getting behind after his Kenny Omega win. I digress. You have Jack Perry, who just people turn the show off for. No one wants to see on TV, and he's your TV champion, right? You have the Whitepool Moxley Club that, again, people just aren't connecting with, and nobody wants Yuta, and you have no trios division anyways, so why you just put belts on these guys? Because, and then you have Okada that, again, is just a shell of himself. He's the Continental Champion. What's the difference between that and the International Championship? Why didn't you just have Takeshita have whatever, like, why do you have those two different belts? Makes no sense. Yeah, he's just a shell of himself, it seems like. And they're all heels. So you can't tell me storytelling doesn't work. You can't tell me that the style of wrestling doesn't work, because the proof is in the pudding. No one wants to watch this. And yeah, if you had like a cohesive faction like Evolution and they win all the belts and it's like a power trip angle for a while, okay, it makes sense. But you're scattered. You have one crew that's invading. You have another crew that's invading. And then Monet's got two belts. And it's like, what? I don't know. There's just no rhyme or reason to anything, it feels like. And this is sort of proof of that. And I could rant on this all day. Get it together. Give us some heroes. And then what's to come next? Oh, well, all the heroes will uprise, Phil, and take all the belts. Okay, then you have all babyface champs. We don't want that either. It's got to be a perfect blend, and it doesn't always have to be 50-50. It's just difficult, man. It's difficult to get behind. And none of these people, like, I'm sorry. Someone made a TikTok or like a video explaining what AEW's doing right now and what story they're trying to tell. And if he's right, then okay, they might actually do something brilliant here with all of this. We'll get into that in a minute. Right here, John Boy Bebop. I'm going to play this for you as this stuff pans out. and listen to what he has to say about AEW, what he theorizes, like what they're doing with AEW right now, which I disagree, because this would be a genius, smart thing, but this requires long-term booking, and Tony Khan doesn't believe in that. And also, will he do the right thing? He never really does. So possibly, but like if the Whitepool Combat Club are just going to fight Dark Order and stuff, then that's stupid, and I don't want to see them fight Cassidy. Like, no, everyone's over Cassidy and all that. But listen to this guy's theory.
This was one of the most genius endings I think I've ever seen. It's the very beginning of the story that I can't believe I couldn't piece together until now. Jon Moxley retiring Bryan Danielson saves AEW. Hear me out. This entire time, I and many others thought it's, it could be Shane McMahon. I thought it was Sami Callihan. Somebody's controlling Jon Moxley. Nobody's controlling Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley did this to save AEW. If Christian beat Danielson, what does that change? If Darby beat Danielson, what does that change? Because they're not willing to go to this length to change the entire locker room. Moxley is willing to put a bag over his best friend's head to scar the rest of the locker room, to make him the bad guy in all of these stories, because that is what will make Darby Allin step up to become world champion. That is what will change Orange Cassidy to become more of a serious and world champion contender. That is going to change Daniel Garcia. That is going to change Hook. That's going to change Private Party. All of the people that have been there since damn near or actual day one to become the best.
I disagree. See, if this guy's right, and this is a great theory because that's what's happening right now on the show. But the problem is that Cassidy can't be more serious. And even if he is, even if he gets more serious, we won't get behind him. He's like 40. So you're going to build the company around these dudes? Like, yeah, Darby, Garcia, sure. But Garcia's whole story this whole time has been like, I'm a wrestler. No, I'm not, whatever. So that does fit into it. However, I think Tony Khan's dumb enough to just have his originals get jobbed. And MVP's going to put together his faction. They're going to go to war and eventually be the ones to beat the Whitepool Neo Moxley clan. That's my opinion. Because I just don't see Tony doing it as brilliant as this guy's laying it out. But even if it did go the way this guy's laying it out, unless you're talking like Wardlow, Hobbs, MJF, I don't think people want to see Cassidy and Darby. Like, the masses aren't going to get behind that. I'm sorry. I like what this guy's saying, but he's talking about these dudes like they're Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and Malenko and all of them in the OG WCW. You know what I mean? Like, they're not those guys, man. The Bucks eventually may face turn as well. No one wants to see like Perry and Garcia feud, man. It's too little too late. It's too little too late, man. They didn't build any of these guys enough stars, and they're still bringing WWE people in.
Wrestlers that they can be. Bryan Danielson's not the main character of this story. It's Darby Allin. This is going to make Darby Allin world champion, I think, by World's End. Private Party are going to win those tag titles. Daniel Garcia is going to win that TNT championship. Hook is going to step the up. Orange Cassidy is going to step the up. Maybe someone wins a C2 here, and it's all because of what they just saw tonight. Mox knew that Danielson had to be sacrificed. And if this is the story that they're running with, it genuinely could be one of AEW's best stories ever told.
But it's not the story. Moxley wasn't like, Danielson's been sacrificed. So maybe down the line, but Moxley just told everyone, like, everyone's on notice. So it has nothing to do with, like, Danielson had to be sacrificed, but maybe later down the line. And we have light AEW news today, guys. Light news. There's only one more. Speaking of Lio Rush, she drops a song called I'm All Elite. So catch a vibe.
Yeah.
It's like Diddy. This guy's like, yeah. You know, it's like, all right, when are you rapping?
Oh, yeah. I got time today.
Oh, yeah, he's got time. Leo Rush,
Bitch.
He's Okada.
I'm all elite. Yeah. Who on the team? They switching up like they ain't forget about the past. Don't cover up. You ain't Lucha. Mask. Didn't you know that I grounded for this shit?
Don't cover up. You ain't Lucha. Fuck a mask. Bars, son.
Work too hard for niggas trying to block me off a list. I've been up since day one. Ain't no way you topping this. After I finish the song, you better believe I'm dropping this. Bangers after bangers, ready to drop it on their head.
After I finish the song, you best believe I'm dropping this.
Don't be hearing the haters, yeah, it's fuck what they said. It's fuck what they on. Can't stand them to the core. I'm banging on the door. This money is what I wanted more.
This money is what I wanted more. What you wanted more than what, Leo Rush? Remember when you told Tony Khan to apologize?
I'm head to toe, blacksmith, didn't you know? Alarm went off 3 times, so I think it's time to go. I love all my fans, they gon' meet me at the show. They gon' let a nigga know. They can tell a nigga cold. Heard that boy drop a song, yeah, it's good, I suppose. Leo, where you get that fit? Check the tag on the clothes. Where you going next? Check the map around the globe. What's all over your neck? Is it ice? Is it froze?
Does he rap like that all the time? Hopefully he gets hype on some. That's too like laid back. Shout out Leo Rush, I guess. He is all elite.